Flesh that hates. Flesh that hates is the name given to SCP-610, a grotesque, rapidly spreading infection that transforms living beings into horrific, tumorous masses of flesh. First observed in remote villages in southern Siberia, near Lake Baikal, the infection spreads through direct physical contact, converting tissue in minutes and turning victims into grotesque extensions of itself. Bloated, pulsating, and always expanding. Once infected, hosts undergo violent mutations. Skin erupts, bones crack, and grotesque appendages begin to grow. These entities, classified as SCP-610-1 and beyond, become increasingly hostile. In rare cases, early-stage infected may exhibit fragmented motor patterns or echoing vocalizations, but never full awareness. This quickly gives way to uncontrollable aggression and a singular focus on further contamination. The infection isn't limited to living tissue, it spreads across clothing, machinery, and buildings, absorbing them into a growing network of semi-organic structures. Entire villages have been restructured into twisted environments, where walls heave like lungs and floors twitch with embedded nerves. Though the infected seem to act with purpose, protecting central clusters and reacting to threats, no conclusive evidence supports the existence of a hive mind. Their coordination may stem from shared instinct rather than conscious direction, but the effect is no less horrifying. There is no cure. All that remains is containment, by fire, force, and hope. Because if the flesh that hates escapes its current zone, it won't bring chaos. It will bring consumption. Slow, silent, and absolute. I mean, imagine waking up and finding your town turned into one giant, twitching meat hive. Not a great morning. SCP-2521. SCP-2521 is a mysterious entity that defies both containment and conventional understanding. What makes this creature uniquely terrifying is its sensitivity to language itself, specifically written and spoken descriptions. Any attempt to describe SCP-2521 using conventional communication methods results in the entity instantly appearing and abducting the source of that information. It doesn't matter whether it's a digital file, a written note, or spoken aloud. If you talk about it, it comes for you. No alarms, no delay, just silence, and then it's gone. And so are you. Because of this, all official documentation regarding SCP-2521 must be composed using visual symbols, diagrams, or nonverbal representations. Foundation personnel are trained to use pictographs when referring to the entity, bypassing the trigger entirely. It's not just a safety measure, it's a matter of survival. SCP-2521's appearance is vaguely humanoid, with long, shadowy tendrils and an ever-shifting form that seems to absorb light. It has no visible eyes, no face, and no sound. Its presence is marked only by what it takes, and what it leaves behind. Silence, confusion, and fear. No known method has been effective in preventing SCP-2521 from accessing restricted areas once its name or description is invoked. Containment procedures focus entirely on preventing its mention. The entity seems to feed on information about itself, making curiosity not just dangerous, but fatal. In a world where documentation is the cornerstone of control, SCP-2521 is a reminder that some knowledge isn't just forbidden, it's predatory. SCP-3000. SCP-3000 is not a monster that hunts or screams. It doesn't chase you through dark corridors or leap from the shadows. It waits. Immense, ancient, and terrifyingly still, SCP-3000, also known as Anantashesha, is a massive, eel-like creature that dwells in the depths of the Bay of Bengal, an anomaly so vast it stretches for kilometers beneath the sea. The creature is considered a powerful cognitohazard, not because of its physical strength, but because of what it does to the mind. Those who come into visual contact with SCP-3000 report confusion, memory loss, and overwhelming dread. Prolonged exposure leads to mental collapse, hallucinations, and irreversible psychological damage. It doesn't need to move to destroy you. It just needs to be seen. Its body is ancient and bloated, decaying in places yet still very much alive. Despite its monstrous size, SCP-3000 rarely reacts to external stimuli. It simply drifts, an unmoving mass beneath the ocean, its presence infecting the very water around it. But beneath this passive exterior lies something horrifying, an intelligence that sees, listens, and waits. The SCP Foundation utilizes a secretion extracted from SCP-3000 for the production of amnestics, chemicals used to erase memories. The process of extraction is hazardous and deeply disturbing. Personnel who are sent near the creature often return disoriented or broken, speaking incoherently or refusing to speak at all. Some never return. SCP-3000 doesn't devour the body. It devours what you are. Identity, memory, and sanity, all are consumed by its presence. And while it may never move, its influence spreads in silence, rippling through minds like a whisper from the abyss. Honestly, after meeting SCP-3000, forgetting everything you know might be for the best. The Plague Doctor. The Plague Doctor is the name given to SCP-49, a humanoid entity wearing a traditional 15th century plague physician's outfit. The mask, robes, and gloves appear to be part of its actual body rather than separate clothing. Despite its medieval appearance, SCP-49 is highly active, intelligent, and far more dangerous than its quiet demeanor suggests. It claims to be searching for a cure to what it calls the pestilence, an undefined condition it believes is spreading rapidly through humanity. When it encounters a living being it deems infected, the Plague Doctor enters an aggressive state, immobilizing the subject and performing a form of surgery using tools it pulls from inside its robes. The procedure is always fatal. Afterward, it attempts to revive the corpse, resulting in a shambling zombie-like creature designated SCP-049-2. Disturbingly, the Plague Doctor believes it is doing good. It speaks calmly, articulates its goals, and expresses frustration when its treatments are misunderstood or rejected. It has held lengthy conversations with the Foundation staff and even shows signs of sorrow when its procedures are interrupted. Yet when confronted with someone it believes is infected, it becomes swift, precise, and utterly lethal. Though it is generally cooperative in containment, SCP-49's obsession with curing the pestilence overrides any sense of morality or safety. Its belief is so deeply rooted that it resists contradiction, transforming calm intellect into unwavering, lethal conviction. The Foundation regards this ideological fixation as a critical threat, one not easily reasoned with and impossible to dissuade. The Plague Doctor doesn't kill out of hate or instinct. It kills because it believes it must. The Old Man. SCP-106 is a humanoid entity that resembles a decomposing old man, but that appearance barely scratches the surface of what makes it horrifying. This creature is capable of moving through solid matter, corrupting anything it touches and dragging victims into a personal pocket dimension where few ever return. Its outer layer appears to be in a constant state of advanced rot. Paint peels, metal rusts, and flesh decays in its presence. Even reinforced containment chambers degrade over time under prolonged exposure. The Foundation discovered this the hard way because SCP-106 doesn't need to break out. It seeps out. The creature is patient. It doesn't always attack immediately. Instead, it stalks, waits, and studies its victims, often choosing to let fear build before striking. When it does capture someone, the outcome is worse than death. Victims are pulled into its pocket dimension, a distorted space where time moves unpredictably, and torment is guaranteed. Some come back in pieces. Some don't come back at all. Attempts to contain SCP-106 have involved elaborate traps and environmental stressors, as it's highly sensitive to sudden physical trauma. Still, no method has proven completely effective. It can vanish and reappear at will, passing through walls and emerging wherever it chooses. There is no true safe zone once SCP-106 is on the move. Worse yet, it seems to enjoy the process. It doesn't just hunt, it plays. And when a creature like this plays, the rules are written in rot, fear, and inevitability. SCP-682. SCP-682 is one of the most notoriously dangerous entities ever contained by the SCP Foundation. Also commonly known as the hard-to-destroy reptile, this creature is a large, reptilian anomaly with a constantly evolving, grotesque body and an intense hatred for all life. Its durability is beyond comprehension. SCP-682 has survived extreme trauma, high-powered weaponry, and even prolonged exposure to corrosive acid baths, specifically engineered to destroy anomalies. But its most terrifying trait isn't just resilience. It's adaptation. Every failed termination attempt teaches it how to resist more effectively, often resulting in spontaneous biological changes that make it even harder to neutralize. What elevates SCP-682 from beast to apex threat is its intelligence. It doesn't attack blindly. It studies, remembers, and targets with purpose. In several breaches, it has used its environment strategically, turning debris into weapons or luring personnel into traps. The Foundation has recorded instances of the creature feigning vulnerability just to observe and exploit human behavior. It also communicates, albeit in a guttural, mocking tone. In one encounter, SCP-682 taunted its captors mid-containment, showing awareness of Foundation procedures and even psychological manipulation tactics. That level of cognition makes it far more dangerous than any mindless monster. It's a strategist, one that learns and adapts with every interaction. Although SCP-682 is still successfully contained, doing so requires constant surveillance, environmental control, and rapid response protocols. The risk of breach is never truly gone. only delayed. For the Foundation, keeping this entity locked away is not a solution. It's an exhausting, endless fight. Still watching? Then this content definitely hit the right spot. Go ahead and subscribe. There's more where that came from. The sculpture. The sculpture is better known to the SCP Foundation as SCP-173, one of the earliest and most lethal anomalies ever secured. It appears to be a humanoid statue made of concrete and rebar, stained with a reddish-brown substance that resembles dried blood and feces. Completely still when observed, it becomes violently mobile the moment no one is watching. The creature's ability is simple but terrifying. It can only move when unobserved. Even blinking for a split second allows it to reposition, often instantly closing the distance between itself and its target. When it attacks, it does so by snapping necks or applying lethal pressure to the throat. Victims rarely have time to react. Death is almost always immediate. Containment procedures are strict. At least 3 personnel must be present during any interaction, with unbroken verbal communication and constant eye contact maintained. If every person blinks at once, even for a heartbeat, that's all the opportunity the sculpture needs. Its movements are jerky and unnatural, almost like stop-motion animation. Surveillance footage shows it flickering across space, limbs twisted at impossible angles. There's no sound, no warning. Just a sudden absence of life where someone once stood. The sculpture doesn't speak. It doesn't reason. It doesn't hesitate. And the only thing standing between you and a gruesome end is the simple act of looking. The Shy Guy. The Shy Guy, officially known as SCP-96, is a pale, emaciated humanoid entity that appears mostly docile until someone sees its face. This one act, even if unintentional or through indirect footage, initiates an unstoppable reaction. Roughly 1 to 2 minutes after exposure, SCP-96 begins to cry, cover its face with its hands, and emit incomprehensible vocalizations. Once this brief delay ends, it enters a frenzy, relentlessly pursuing the individual who saw its face. Designated SCP-96-1, regardless of where they are on the planet. Distance, terrain, and physical barriers are irrelevant. It always finds them. Recorded events include the entity breaching reinforced steel, traversing across entire oceans, and eliminating targets with terrifying speed. Victims are typically reduced to unrecognizable remains through sheer brute force. After the target is neutralized, SCP-96 becomes passive once more, sitting silently for several minutes before attempting to return to what the Foundation believes is its natural habitat. Attempts to contain the Shy Guy have focused on preventing visual contact altogether. It has been confirmed that artistic representations, such as drawings or renderings of its face, do not trigger a reaction, providing some margin of safety for documentation and research. However, photographic or video exposure remains fatally effective. SCP-96 does not kill out of anger. It kills because something deeper, something buried in its anomalous biology demands it. Today we talked about SCP's most dangerous creatures, and honestly, this was one of the most fascinating ones to work on. But now I'm curious, which one do you think is the most dangerous? And are there any other creatures you'd like to see added to the list? Let us know in the comments. I'm reading all of them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos. Just make sure you don't accidentally see SCP-96's face before then.